a lot of people nowadays, they go to college just to get the degree. Now they're out and they start doing things like OF. You know what I'm saying? OF
Don't
to
get me
pay
started
that.
on that, man.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
I think we should definitely
Get a subscription OF.
well, no.
You're gonna pay for it, right?
I mean, no.
For research purposes. All right, everybody, welcome back. This is Man First Podcast. I am Mixed.
I am J0.
Today, we have something really important to talk about, and when it comes to the current status, the current state of where men are today. And you said you wanted to start off with something.
Yeah. I want to put you on I guess we want to call it the man first spot.
Man First Spot.
Yeah. So here's the question. You ready for it?
Go ahead.
All right. Let's just say YouTube contacts us, right? You get
Yes.
you get an email.
Yes.
What?
Sorry. I got excited.
I don't think you want to be excited for this. Well, actually, it is actually to be something excited about. Let's just say YouTube contacts Man First Podcast.
Hell
right?
yeah.
And they say, we will give you a deal. $10 million.
Yes.
You stop this podcast right now. We will give you the $10 million for you to stop this manhood, this toxic masculinity podcast. If you just stop it. What would you say?
What are the conditions on this proposition?
$10 million.
No, but what in order for me to do what? Just stop this podcast?
Just totally stop. Like, you know what? We'll give you $10 million.
Yeah, I'd take that deal.
You'll take the deal?
Yeah, and I'll start something else and call it Man Second Podcast. The second Man First Podcast.
I mean,
I'll take that deal.
Okay, I see what you meant by like conditions. Like they don't ever want to see us ever again, is what I'm trying to say. They don't want us, generating a community of men.
So like in all perpetuity and all that type of jargon.
Yeah,
just
to keep you, saying.
They basically want to buy me out
Yeah.
to where I never do anything relating to these topics ever again on YouTube.
Yeah.
So I'd have to do like some reacting to music videos or something.
Yeah,
like
you
that.
have to totally just stop this whole educational, empowering men.
Now, is this just YouTube or social media altogether?
I think it's just, let's just say,
Just
let's
YouTube?
say YouTube just contacts you and just, would you?
Ooh, man, that's rough.
I know, right? And that's what I was thinking in the truck. I was like,
That's rough.
but I would say no, because this is how much faith I have in this project, I just wanted to be like very authentic about it because, even, money and stuff like that. But this is like, I would say when I told you when we started this is kind of our legacy in a sort of way, man.
Right.
Yeah. So, we want to be remembered. I don't think any man wants to go into the ground knowing that he did not really accomplish something. And this is like, I was really driving the truck. I was like, yo, that's deep. Like, I'm like thinking to myself, would I take the $10 million or would I actually stop doing this?
Well, here's the thing.
I mean,
if YouTube is willing to offer $10 million to do that, that means it could mean a few things. It could mean that the things that we're talking about, things that we're not really talking about anything new, but the route in which we're going about it, we intend to be different from what I've heard and what you've heard on YouTube. But
right.
That means there's value in what we're doing, right?
$10 million.
Right. But this is, you got to remember, you ever been in a casino?
Mm-hmm.
When somebody's hot in a casino, like they're just hitting the numbers, right?
Right.
They're up like 50K, 60K, 100K. Somebody's going to come up to you and say, hey, sir, you had a great night. You should probably get out of here. And no, I'm hot. I'm on a streak. That's when they turn up the heat on you and you end up owing them about $50,000.
Oh, yeah.
So, and when I think of that, YouTube, if YouTube came to me and said, "Oh, $10 million, and or what do you want to do?" If I say no and I keep going on YouTube, they're probably going to come after me.
Yeah.
They're going to demonetize anything that we make. They're going to get us canceled. They're going to shadow ban us, and they're going to make sure our uploads are not visible. And they're, they can screw us 1,000 ways, right?
Theoretically, just of course we're not saying they
allegedly.
Will do this. This is just metaphorically.
This is all made up. This would never happen.
Yeah, we were just, I'm just thinking like, this is just.
It's kind of a, what's it called? Something prize. It's kind of a, what's the word? It's like you don't win, but consolation prize. So $10 million is your consolation prize, right? I would think it would be much, in terms of being mentally healthy, I think it would be a good idea to take the money, but that just shows proof of concept, and that just shows that what you're doing actually has value to the point where YouTube would offer you that high amount of money. Would you want, the real question is, would I be willing to fight YouTube to do this? If they offer me 10 grand, I'd say no. 10 million, I'd really have to consider it, because with 10 million, you can do so much. You know what I mean?
But this is the pride and joy. This is what we are building, man. I know 10 million is a lot of money, but what if we can make that along the way what we're doing?
But if we have to use YouTube in order to make it to that point, and YouTube is already telling us, you either take this money or we're coming after you. Yeah. Rumble's not there yet. You know what I mean? Rumble's the new Parler. You know what I mean? So it's, Facebook's great and all, but X is great, and Instagram is great, TikTok's great and all, but they're not YouTube. At least not yet. The next YouTube is in the works right now, whatever that's going to be. And
yeah, it was just a question, man.
You can work 40 years, maybe you get $10 million, or you can just take the $10 million and build upon that in other avenues. You know what I mean? So that's I can't give you a straight answer. I'd have to really think about it.
Well, like I said, my answer is no, because I'm building something. And I think, what you're saying, if you're saying take the 10 million, that means this, this project could probably most likely be more. We can actually generate that kind of revenue throughout the years to take care of ourselves. It's like money that could probably, build, and I'd rather work for something rather than just being given something, just given an answer, Well, money, it just sounds easy.
Money is not the, when you're 9 years old and you look back at your life, you're going to say, you know what, if I just put out another video, I could have made another $2,000. Nobody's going to be thinking that shit. So at the end of your life, money is great and all, but you think back and you're like, what did I do that had any value? So what to what you're saying, I agree. But imagine saying that on a street corner somewhere because you can't afford to live anywhere. You know what I mean? So would you let me ask you this question. Same deal for you, or the guarantee that throughout the rest of your life, the most you'll ever accumulate is $20,000. No, I'll tell you what, make it a little more realistic. Say the most you ever accumulate in life is $200,000.
Like the 200
max you'll ever make.
Max
you'll ever make, because big tech's coming after you. They're shutting you down. They're banning you. They're no social media presence.
I think I see your point. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You would really have to consider, like, what, I really got to look at the long run, other than
long. Yeah,
and I know it's almost sounds as if it's kind of like an instant gratification type deal, but you rather keep your peace and have that pie,
right?
And just
because you can retire at 40 years old, 42.
Yeah, I'm 42.
Yeah.
Well, about to be 42. So.
Well, I'm just, this is all hypothetical. We're not saying YouTube cares about us at all. But
it's just,
hypothetical, right? But if you were offered 10 million at 42 years old, you can retire off of that.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? You can invest in something, maybe works out, maybe it does. You're not hurting. You can take care of some folks. pay off, take care of a couple people, pay off their debts, whatever, get them free and clear.
Oh yeah.
Start your own little industry. Or
yeah, I think the audience will probably say, "You dumb as hell."
I'm saying, man, like,
you dumb as hell if you don't take that 10
I'm
million.
saying, man, like,
10 million.
just get
Take
the money.
just take it.
the
Yeah, I'm pretty sure people looking at me like. Anyways, yeah, audience, leave a, if you agree, don't agree. I mean, let us know what you guys think.
So let's go ahead and get into. We watched a video. We watched about half a video. We're gonna watch the other half on a later date. Or we're gonna post the information on it. Basically, we want to go over just the men's current state. The state of men in this country. Just the current position that men have in society. Obviously, we've shifted from 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, all the way up to today. Some were good, some were statistically, and you can look at data-driven points that it's not going in a good direction. And we got a video that we want to pull up here. Let me get it ready. 124. So we're gonna go to a part where I think is some really good information that we're gonna go over. Get that. Let me cue that up. Cue that up real quick. Oh, geez. With the ads. Sorry about that.
Yes, it was waiting for us.
We have that playing in the background. Hold on. All right, skip.
Man, yeah, that question was, like I said, this had me in the car. I was like, man, would I take the money? Like, I'm trying to build something here. It's like your baby, and you just want to make it grow up to be something. And you want to be known. Hey, this guy is actually doing something for other men, women. For mankind itself.
Right.
So is that value way more than money? Especially with the way money is going now. It's like, I don't know if you know, but the American dollar is like losing its value almost every
it's been
month.
losing. Yeah, it's definitely been losing its value.
And it's actually showing with groceries and services and stuff like that. So, yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and take a look at this video. This is going to talk roughly about men's current mental health, depression, being suicidal and such like that. I don't think you can say the S word on YouTube, but all right, let's see. Oh, wait a minute. I got on mute because of stupid ads. We're professionals.
Hey, we do it live.
Which is probably why 40% of young men aged 18 to 45 meet the criteria for depression, and 49% of 18 to 23-year-olds have had a thought of passing themselves in the past 2 weeks alone. We're seeing the symptoms of this problem everywhere. The sapping away of our vision and ambition permeates in all aspects of modern society today. Our culture, architecture, relationships, bodies, and minds. Past civilization before us have always placed their emphasis on beauty, wisdom.
All right, so let me go back to that chart real quick. All right, so it says right here that 44% of Gen Z, which is the ages 18 to 23, meet screening standard for depressive symptoms. 43% for both 24 to 30-year-olds and 31 to 37-year-olds, were Zillennials and Millennials, all meet the standard for depressive symptoms. And then it moves over. It says, let's go forward a little bit. For the same ages, Gen Z, Zillennials, Millennials, thoughts of self-ending in the last 2 weeks. 49% for Gen Z, 48% of Zillennials. What contributing factors do you think cause that? That's almost half. Like, that's basically half.
Yeah. Wow. Factors, I would say, like, how hard it is, I guess, coming out of high school, just they don't know how to deal with what's going on right now. It's like they're not really technically prepared, because you're in school and they tell you the usual, you just need to go to college, you need to get a job, you need to, work and, get yourself a family, get yourself a house. They tell you these nice things that you can acquire.
I don't think anybody these days telling kids or telling high school kids or college kids go out and get a family. I think family is being pushed to the wayside. I think it's all about self-fulfillment right now.
Oh, self-importance.
Self-importance, self-fulfillment. They're like the ideas of family have been kind of railroaded to not have any value anymore. It's all about yourself and make sure you take care of yourself.
Would you say that social media has a very
Oh
big part
yeah.
of it?
Oh yeah.
Like,
I mean, as a part of it, but that's anybody can clearly say if you're on a tablet or you're on a smart device, whether it's your phone or a tablet, we can make the dissociation of that's entertainment purposes, right?
Mhm.
But when you're in a classroom and there's a teacher there telling you these things about self-reliance and take care of yourself and stuff like that, and I think that has a much stronger impact on an individual than if they saw something on on their tablet or their phone. So these kids are learning these things in person by their people that in their social circles, by people that they're being raised by teachers, professors, and such. I think they're pushing that message. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that all these teachers are just horrible teaching bad things to kids. What I'm saying is the old school traditional values that would drive somebody to want families and stuff like that, that's been dismissed. And it's all about now, here, you take care of you right now. Don't worry about next year. Take care of what's important to you right now.
Yeah, I can see that. And I've talked to a friend, he I guess has kids, or he's dealing with his sister's kid or something like that, and he took him to school. He said he was in the hallways and I guess he's watching these kids go to class or do tours and stuff like that. But the first thing they were doing is what were they doing? They had their faces in the on the phone, probably most likely looking at social media, maybe talking or texting with their friends, saying what they're doing, might be going live and say, look where I'm at, I'm in school, can't wait for my first day. And it's like, I don't generally think that parents and teachers are a really big factor in the younger generation's life. I think they are more in tuned with what's going on outside of that. And I told my mom this, I was like, yo, you don't have any, you have a very small part of these kids' life. They are around their friends, influenced by their friends more than their family. Social media is
has more value.
Yeah, it's way more value than, I guess, the structure of the household or whatever. Yeah. Like the family dinner where you actually, go to sit down with family and discuss things, talk about how your day going and, talking about stuff like that. That's like irrelevant now.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's bad, man.
Yeah, well, that goes back to the whole idea that the fatherless homes and there's no stability inside the house, even though one parent might be doing their absolute best to maintain that.
Oh yeah, I'm
without the
victim of that, definitely.
Right, without family being a factor in one's life, structure is wobbly. You know what I mean? There's no structure in the home. So we wanted to go over that. So men today are obviously depressed, are I want to say it, but I don't want to get any issues. They're considering being gone, if you know what I'm saying. Isolation is a big deal, and I'm gonna say it, man. I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna come right the fuck out and say it. Wow. Men are more feminized today than they've ever been.
You want to tell our audience that most men are feminized now. Or are you saying like new men, like I'm talking about younger men are feminized, or are we talking about men like our age?
No. Mostly, we were kind of in that transitionary period where it was going from, because we're millennials, right? So our age group, we're millennials.
Right.
The one before us was Gen X. Okay. Gen X came up getting their asses beat, right? Millennials in our range, yeah, sure. They got spanked, they got punished.
I got my ass whooped.
Right. But what happened after us? Kids started getting softer and softer and softer. Look at
the laws started getting in place.
Right.
Saying, you can't touch or harm your kid
and
because it's abuse.
We got to the point where now if you're at a grocery store and you see a woman teeing off on her kid for not paying attention, not teeing, I'm not talking about like abusing. I'm just talking about like spanking or grabbing or whatever. Now you got other strangers calling police on the mom. Or the dad, whatever, right?
I don't think he should be doing that, or he or she be doing that. That's really bad.
That's so wrong. You shouldn't do that. He's a child. Shut up. Like then we got participation trophies, and we didn't have that when I was a kid.
Mm-mm.
And I'm not jealous we didn't have that. I'm infuriated. I'm infuriated because that's a thing. You know what I mean? Participation trophies and such. So I think males, namely like the Gen Zers or the Zillennials or whatever. I think Zillennials is the proper term for what I'm looking for. The Zillennials and Gen Z, if they're not the same thing, I think they're more feminized because they're more coddled. I think let's be real, most fathers are not in the home now. Mm-hmm. So you have the mothers. So the mothers have to compensate. They have to be not only the nurturer, but they also have to be nature. So they have to be the disciplinarian. Yeah. And we had the conversation earlier. You were saying that you can't be both.
No.
You can, but not to the level where it's effective.
Yeah, it's not optimum. Yeah.
Yes, because you can't treat somebody like they're your little prince. They're your little king, right? They're your little baby. I love you so much. And then kiss them and hug them and this and that. And then the next second want to be the disciplinarian. That sends mixed signals.
Oh yeah.
So now they can't trust you. Mm-hmm. The kid can't trust you no more, namely the boy, but they don't, because you're too bipolar.
I would say they do trust them, but they only trust one side of it. Right. Like they don't. It's like they want the benefit of, I guess if you would say the mother. We'll go back to the mother. That the mother is saying, man, what's the word I'm looking for? But the mother is playing nurturer and disciplinary, right? So therefore, they are choosing the nurturer because they are benefiting more from the nurturer than the disciplinary. Nobody wants the disciplinary part because it's negative, it's bad. Oh my God.
Right.
I'd rather just want you to just be that person.
Yeah.
So when it comes down to, the father, that's one of the biggest reasons why when I was at home, I was trying to be the disciplinary. I tried to be the father at my house, and my mom, every time the kids would mess up, she would say, yeah, it's fine. You can go play the video game. You can go outside. You can go hang with your friends. I'm like, Mom, I just put him on punishment. I told him no games, no outside. He needs to stay in this room and realize what he did, and like I said, it's like, oh, well, it's my house. And, this is the way it goes, and you can't tell me what to do. But, it's like now all of a sudden she wants to listen to me. I'm like, it's already too late. Yeah. You already put it in their head that this is the way it is now.
Now, another thing that's really hurting young males is just this idea of growing, becoming successful in modern times. I mean, modern successful growth is disappearing. You know what I mean? It's we have a part of the clip for that as well. It briefly touches on that. It's talking about what's the 357. Let's see here. Let's bring it up. Yeah, it's talking about basically what used to be the American dream, but the economy is so crazy right now, and everything's gearing towards like just a slippery slope, and you try your hardest, but when you get to that point where you're ready to be handed this opportunity, not handed, but presented with an opportunity to make something of yourself, it's just stagnant. It's flatline. People are not hiring, or you have to have 20 years of experience to get this entry level job. It's like, it makes no sense, right? Mm-hmm. So let me show you this clip real quick, or not this clip, but this part of the clip.
We're not keeping up at all. Keeping your head above water has become the new normal instead of owning a home with a wide-open fence. The rich are becoming richer and the poor are becoming poorer. With the middle class disintegrating completely, all the knowledge of the past of just going to college, getting a job, and buying a home immediately is just completely irrelevant for anyone working and living in 2024. Universities are skyrocketing prices to absurd levels. The housing market is in a complete giant bubble. Everyone's sending out job applications more and more, all while using these automated testing systems, applying up to 100 jobs a day and still not getting anywhere. All the while major companies repeatedly tell us that they can't find any workers for their companies. And the results of this are clear. People are drifting towards more unfulfilling jobs, or just not even having a job at all. While the rich buy up resources, real estate, and everything that used to be the cornerstones of the middle class, there's now just an investment hidden through an offshore bank account for some chicken.
That's terrifying for a teenager, man.
That is, I think that what they call it gig jobs now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where it's like, like these small little jobs just to help the real job. I guess, like me, I'm a truck driver. And then not only am I just a truck driver, I'm actually doing I guess contract deliveries, I guess you would call it, with Amazon or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, where I'm not a worker, but I am a contract worker. Just because I have a driver's license, I can drive. This means you have the ability to do deliveries for us, and we will pay you under the table money to, whatchamacallit. Of course, you have to, you have to report that at the end of the year or whatever. But then not only that, you got this duty. So in a sort of way, I'm actually working 3 jobs almost every day in a sort of way. So yeah.
And with the help of you, lovely folks, you can help support and financially help us out here at the Zero Grid Studios. Feel free to leave a comment below. We'll have all that stuff information for you. Anyway,
leave a like or subscribe.
I mean, it's scary in terms of, like you said, gig jobs. Jobs like that, like bagging groceries at the not convenience store, but at the shopping mart or something like that. I don't want to say any names. We're not sponsored by them yet. Bagging groceries or working at the fast food restaurants, those used to be summer jobs. That used to be considered something to do now to help save up to buy a car, your first car, so you can drive to school or whatever, just to have some money in your pocket.
Oh, no lie, man. I went to a Dollar General. No, it wasn't Dollar General. It was a Dollar Tree. And it was an older lady at the cash register. And I was like,
that's different.
No, I'm getting to that part. What I'm saying is that when I talk to her, the reason why she's behind that register is because she needs to pay for some type of service because her house broke down or something like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I was kind of getting frustrated. I was like, yo, you, so basically I'm guessing the father or the husband, I think he's also working. He's working his job, but she also needs to get a job in order to help out to make sure that house stays repaired or maintenance or whatever. So you're getting paid enough to survive, but it's not enough.
Not enough. Yeah, not enough to actually live off of. Yeah, it's scary, man. It's what is happening right now to the point where you're 60, 70, 80 years old, retirement age, where you're supposed to have already worked your 30, 40 years of life. Where you should be able to be in a position where you can kind of just kick your shoes off, maybe start your own little thing, with all the money you've saved up or all your retirement benefits and everything like that. It's not a thing anymore. It's gone. And so trying to get a 18-year-old, teenage kid guy, who, hey man, if you work hard, you'll have to work even harder later. That's really all that's happening right now. And at that point, what else can a young man do but just be in despair? Also, what if I work this job, what I'm going to be working in 30 years from now? What, I go to school, now I'm in debt, $150,000, $250,000 for the next 80 years. I watched a video where this female was talking about she's been paying off her college debt for the past 8 years. I think she owed like $170,000. And every year she pays, I think, $12,000 or something like that. She owed 170, let's say 175. She's been paying it off for 7 years. She looked at her recent balance, it's like 180,000. It started at 175 with interest and accumulating blah, 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 blah. I don't know if it's true, but it sounds terrifying. You're never going to pay that shit off.
It's a scam, bro.
I mean, unless you're in STEM.
I'm going to say it.
Unless you're in
college
STEM,
is a scam, bro.
Didn't we brought up didn't Chad Gupta give us some information on that?
Yeah.
I think I lost it.
But I truly believe the college, go ahead, you can bring it up if you can.
Let me see. Yeah,
but yeah,
ahead.
I truly believe college is just a scam. And I tried to tell my nephews that. I was like, look, man, I know education is important. I grew up, knowing that education is important. My mom always told me, you go to college, get a degree, and get out there, and you find a job, and that will help you. But I tell my mom, I was like, Mom, we're in a different era now. The stuff that you acquired back in the day, is 3 times harder to acquire now,
and 5 times more expensive.
That's like. Yeah, like I said, the dollar is going down. As the dollar goes down in value, Absolutely. More things get more expensive.
Oh yeah. So take a look at this list. Okay, so let me assess myself. Okay. So I asked Chad Gupta, what are the most sought after studies in college that have not very high real world application, or they're less practical. Here's what Chad Gupta came up with. So I don't know if there's any in particular order, so I'll just list them. You have gender studies, peace and conflict studies, film studies, art history, creative writing, philosophy, religious studies, anthropology, sociology, dance, fine arts, ethnic studies, music theory, theater arts, environmental studies, American studies, communications. There's a lot of people out there with communications degrees work in McDonald's or something. Liberal arts, journalism, and graphic design. That's just to name a few.
Okay, what is this list again? What's it naming?
It's listing very high popular studies in college that have little real world application and no practical use outside of college.
Is this what college students are going?
Yeah, you can get degrees in this stuff.
I understand they're getting degrees, but is this like what top? What they're going for?
So here's a longer list of college majors that are often seen as less practical in terms of direct job prospects or real world applications. So these are, I would think these are.
How are these real world studies?
So basically, somebody just convinced the Board of Education that these are. I think that's how that works. But
very important
things to get. I mean, of course, they're going to agree to it because now they leave college with a college education and $150,000 worth of debt with no real world impact.
I think I actually talked to a friend, and she said that she got her degree and everything, but she still struggles to find the job for that degree.
Well, of course, like that's what I was saying. That's what I was talking about. It's you pay all this money to go get a degree for something that you can't do anything with. You know what I mean? You can't do anything with them. And like I was saying, if you want to go to college, cool. Consider STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. That's the high paying areas of that. Doesn't guarantee you a job, doesn't guarantee you a career, but it at least sets you up for something. Now, a lot of people nowadays, they go to college just to get the degree. Now they're out and they start doing things like OF. You know what I'm saying? OF
Don't
to
get me
pay
started
that.
on that, man.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
I think we should definitely
Get a subscription OF.
well, no.
You're gonna pay for it, right?
I mean, no.
For research purposes.
I'm wondering, wasn't there a time that OF, wasn't there a time we were trying to shut it down?
No. So OF came out and said that they were no longer going to allow adult content.
Yeah,
to be on there, and then
but that was like kind of like their major.
That was their major moneymaker.
Yeah, that was their major moneymaker. Who told them that was a good idea? I guess.
So basically, what happened? Well, everybody that was making money off of adult content on that platform complained about it because they said that's their way of making money. Yada,
but
yada.
I'm saying, like, why did they try to say that we're really going to stop doing that? What was the reason?
I think sponsorships or something like that. It got a bad name.
It got a negative outlook,
negative, right? Yeah, something like that. Because it was basically
somebody must have gave him a call and said,
"Well, yeah."
Somebody must have gave him a call and said, "Wait a minute, how much money you say you were making with this?"
That's
adult.
All? Oh, wait. So your sponsorships are backing out because of your adult content. How much exactly? Oh, every quarter we're losing about 30 million, 40 million. Really? That's a big number. Tell you what, I'll sponsor you. I'll give you 50 million. Just keep that adult content on there. Oh, great.
Somebody,
I'm telling you.
Somebody must have really said ching ching, or maybe tax purposes, because the more money you make, the more money they can take. And if they can profit, some institution can profit off of that.
I think it was some company that had a pebble as a logo and it was painted black.
We will move on because
I forgot the name.
People
like a boulder.
People end up going missing. I think we'll move on now.
Those computers acting up, bro. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
All right, I got one more clip to show. We're at the 34-minute mark.
All right, go ahead.
We got one more. It's talking about how the middle class is gone and low skilled labor is. Let me just bring it up real quick.
All right.
We're at 6:17. Let me see here. Professional. All right, let me just start right about. Yeah. Oh, we're talking about the gig jobs. Wait for the ad to come in.
In a completely overpriced legacy. And the truth is, both middle and lower earners are now taking a huge hit to their egos. They feel disrespected through no fault of their own, because no man wants to feel like a failure. They don't want to feel like they're not providing or on their destiny. Imagine putting in the hours and effort to get a degree and then having to take a job that's not even within the field you studied for. Well, this is just regular life for most people nowadays. It's making men feel incredibly depressed and isolated. They watch all this stuff on social media. They see people flexing the Rolexes on their Instagram stories. Meanwhile, they're struggling to survive, living a life they absolutely hate. And when friends and family ask about it, they suffer the humiliation of explaining why they had to take what was available. Even though it isn't humiliating at all, and they're doing what they can to survive, it definitely takes a huge effect on their mental health, especially as it wasn't that long ago, where it was actually normal to enter the workforce with a mentor who would show you the ropes and encourage you and push you to learn more. Starting at the bottom didn't seem...
Yeah. So basically, people are going, these younger generations going into the workforce and having to, they do it for a reason. Basically, you get out of college and now you have a degree, but you have to work somewhere, and they end up finding themselves in a position where it has nothing to do with the field of study they were in.
Mm-hmm.
And they do that just to pay the bills.
Right.
And these are entry-level jobs, and they end up staying there because no one else is hiring. You know, so it's just this, what's it called? It's just that vicious circle, that downward spiral of you can't get anything done when you were not necessarily given promises, but this life was hyped up to the point you're on TikTok and like you said, you've seen the guy with the Rolex watch. Remember back when we were teenagers and we saw these rappers with the cars and the houses and stuff like that? Right. Did you have any idea, or did you know that they didn't own any of it?
No, I didn't know that. I always thought that was their stuff.
I thought it was like, this is the life they're living.
Yeah, this is their lifestyle.
Now, we were in the 90s where we had to watch a music video to even see them doing that. These kids just pull out their phone and they're seeing all these rich people with all this stuff. You know, it's 24/7 of seeing these people live these lifestyles.
Yeah, and they were like doing some really bad stuff too. You know, they were like, I wouldn't say they're really being inspirational or role models in a sort of way. They're just like, they're on there. They're probably smoking. They're probably, doing gambling or some type of stuff, trying to show you these get quick rich schemes.
Get rich quick.
Yeah. And they're bringing in the views. And, just like I said, it's all about selling and it's all scamming and it's all about that instant gratification. And, they don't know it's really the way to make money is actually the hard way. You got to really work hard for it, Yeah,
and that also goes into like if you have conversation with rich folks, and I've seen a few of them break down the importance of debt, and they say having debt is not a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
You can leverage your debt for X, Y, Z, and there's a whole bunch of videos that go into it. I don't want to act like I have the full understanding of it, but I hate debt. I don't like owing money, not to a friend or to a company or to a bank. I don't like owing. But millionaires,
funny you say that, but
I know I hate it. It's weird. So I'm glad I don't owe anybody I know any money. So, no, it's like but the millionaires, they're all in debt to somebody.
Oh yeah,
they have to be. And
they don't like you. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but they don't use their own money.
No, they don't. They leverage their debt.
That's how they stay a millionaire.
Right.
They actually use that money to invest in something or do something
borrow
with it.
Against.
Yeah, borrow. Yeah, like you were saying, borrow against. And whatever the difference is, they take what they profited from it, and of course they'll give it back eventually.
Right.
I think I seen 10-year loans or something like that.
Right. Yeah. What? Yeah, and it's a whole different world out there, but it's a world we're not taught. We're not. It's never explained. Schools don't teach it. Teachers don't teach it. That's not the
narrative.
It's not what they want us to know. They don't want us to learn all this stuff. This is stuff you have to be born into, in a way. You know what I mean? Or you're one of those types that just kind of got in the door. You know what I mean? The door was closing. They let all the good people in, and somehow you got in there. Like I know he's under a lot of scrutiny right now. There's a lot of stuff, but like your Vince McMahon's, he wasn't born into riches and fame and all that stuff. You got your Donald Trump's. He was born into some money. He was given a small loan of like what $5 million or something for a company. But I mean, you got these you got these rappers like, you know, your Nellies and your TIs that wrap their way into a position where now they had money to leverage against things, and now they're not even making money off of rap no more. They're making money off whatever else they're invested into, but they got in that door somehow.
Make no mistake, you know, and would you agree with me, in this world there are winners and losers?
Of course.
That is just period, you know.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the biggest thing that men should know, you know. They have to know that in this world there are winners and there's losers.
And they're interchangeable.
And for them to get where they are at, they have to step on someone to get where they're at. And I think that's usually how to get that kind of status.
Mm-hmm.
Sooner or later, you will have to push down the man that you're in competition with to get to the level that they're at. Yeah. Like Donald Trump, Bill Gates, they all probably have their skeletons or reason why they're at.
Oh yeah,
they're at where they're at.
Any industry where there's competition, somebody has to win, somebody has to lose. Mm-hmm. There's no working together. Now there are laws and legislation for monopolizing and stuff. You can't own the entire market. You can't be the only name on the block.
Oh, okay, yeah,
right.
I'm sorry. Rules for thee, but not for me.
Right. Well, yeah. But what I'm saying is hold on, let me lower this. What I'm saying is there's competition regardless, right? There's a first place, there's a second place, third, however many are involved, right? Like in car sales, like they're in a city or in a region or in a district or whatever the lines are drawn. There's a top place and there's a last place.
Right.
What the top place does is most likely things that the lower five are not willing to do,
right,
or can't do.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever the first place does, especially if they're first place consistently for months or years and decades, and right, they're doing things that these other places can't do or will not do. But that's why they're up there. And then you break it down to salespeople. I know a guy, by the time this airs, it's going to be the 21st. It's the 21st of the month. On average, salesperson depending on blah, 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 but your average salesperson can get anywhere between 10 and 15 cars a month, right? And in today's market, that's not bad depending on where you work. But this guy, the guy I'm talking about, it's the 21st. He's probably sold about 40 cars right now. 40. That's up there. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like that's up there. And but he's willing to do things I'm not willing to do. Therefore, he's up here and I'm down here. Are they all legit and all on the up and up? Are they all blah, 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 and everybody's happy? We can write a book about it one day and not be ashamed of it? Who knows? But he's willing to do whatever it takes to get to 40 cars a month, 50 cars, 60 cars a month.
Jesus, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you.
So there's winners and losers. Pick your poison. How do you want to go out?
I see. I mean, I think I just talked to somebody and they said that they weren't willing to do what I guess their company expected them to do. And so they, I guess in a sort of way, I guess, I'll just say it, women, they go into a work environment and let's say you're an older woman, they're going to pick younger women and you are not willing to do what you're expected to do, like I guess you would say you don't look the company way. Like we're looking for a younger, fresher, right. Meet around the company in sort of a way. She says I'm not willing to, compete with these people, especially for, as long as I've been working for you guys. So I'm out, I don't want to, whatchamacallit. So, like I said.
You're talking about like illegal activity?
Not illegal activity. It's just that.
Dress a certain way, carry themselves a certain way.
Let's just say younger, they got younger, hotter woman and they're flirting and they're probably, a little bit more
taking advantage of the males.
Yeah. So therefore she said, I'm a hard worker. I've been here for years and years. And, I just want to, I can't compete anymore, Yeah. And that's all I was saying, like, for men, that kind of works the same sort of way. I'm a truck driver. I'm willing to do exactly what the company wants me to do. So therefore they are going to give me the deliveries or whatever. Now, if you're late or whatchamacallit, you're not being an asset to the company, then you're not going to get the jobs that, that you want, so therefore people end up leaving or whatever.
Yeah. That includes coming in on weekends, holidays, birthdays, and all these other whatever days, some people are willing to do it, some aren't. And those are the ones that get the kudos for it. So I think that's gonna wrap this one up. You got anything else you want to add? We're at the
I would say just,
44-minute mark.
I would tell people, tell the audience, you gotta educate yourself when it comes down to finances. You gotta educate yourselves on what they don't teach you, and also keeping, I guess, an open mind, especially for men. Like I said, there's winners and losers. If you're really trying to get to the top, then you got to understand that, you will have to make sacrifices, or you're going to have to make choices that you really don't want to do, but.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely agree with that. I mean, there's a lot of things we got to do on a day-to-day basis, but there's a lot of decisions that we have to make, and that's going to determine whether we actually do them or not. So that's going to come down to self-discipline and education, just like you said, and knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's going to wrap us up this time for Man First Podcast. We're going to have a lot more coming out. We just launched everything. We're on X, we're on Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, Instagram, and I said X. I was about to say Twitter. Yeah, feel free to join us. If you like what you heard, put a comment down below. Make sure you like, subscribe. Let us know what you think about the content that you're listening to.
And also say happy birthday in the comments. This guy's birthday today, I guess, when this launches.
Yeah, when this comes
happy
out.
Birthday, man. So yeah.
Well, I appreciate it. All right.
Launch date on his birthday.
Yes, sir. All right. So that's about all I got. So I'm mixed.
I'm zero. J. Zero.
Just always.
I might as well just call myself.
You came up with the name.
I just keep forgetting the J.
I'm zero.
I just think of Zero Grit Studios, so I'm like, yo, zero.
All right, Man First Podcast from Zero Grit Studios. Thank you for joining us. See y'all next time.
Later.